Welcome back guys to another video where today we're going to be at Laguna Seca, which, I actually kind of like this track. It's a little bit of a sand pit, but honestly, it kind of adds a little bit of risk-taking stuff, especially if you go off. And a lot of risk-taking was done in this race, especially with trying to go for the fastest lap. And you're going to see a lot of just stuff happen in this race, and a little bit of a surprise in the end. Strategy calls were very interesting and stuff. I ran a little bit of a different strategy than others, and I actually changed up my setup a little bit where I think the differential, I changed something with that, and a lot of people were like, wait, you can do that? And I was like, maybe I'll test it, I was starting P2, so, might as well start it, so yeah, or might as well try it, so. And maybe it did work out in the end. Well, you guys will have to see, so let's get straight into it. So here we are starting from P2. Now we're going to be starting on the inside here of Omis, who's going to be starting on our right there. And we're actually going to get a pretty good start here. We're going to get past him as soon as possible. A little bit of pit lane. We're just going to go to the inside. I actually kind of want to go on the outside, because then we could get a kind of better start. But it looked like the outside line was actually going to take you longest. Now he's going to stick to our inside for a little bit. I gave him the room just because I didn't want to slam the door on him on the first corner, so just gave him the room there. But we're actually going to take the lead pretty early on in this race, and I was actually pretty surprised, but I knew that Omis was a fast driver and it wasn't going to be too easy. But in the back here we actually have Obisega, Rob, and then Willie's also in third place. But this track, it's very weird. As you can see, Obisega checks up a little bit there. And we're going to see Rob, he's actually going to go into the back of Obisega. And then Obisega, if you look at his inputs right there, he had full throttle and full brake, and he made contact with Willie, which I feel so bad for him. You can see he has engine damage. But up in front here, we actually had an incident of ourselves here. As almost, we kind of take it easy in the corkscrew, and he actually catches us to a lot. I don't know if we made contact there, so he's gonna go for a switchback there. Nice, really hard racing on lap 1 here. He's gonna try to go around the outside. I give him room, but I think he did touch a little bit of that curb, and he almost actually collects us again. But if we ride on board with him, because a little bit sloppy camera work, I'm still getting used to it. You can see here he's going to go around the outside. I don't think we made contact. No, maybe on his screen, because that was a really weird crash. I mean, I was like, I kind of felt bad because I didn't know if I made contact with him on his screen. I knew that I was trying to give as much room as possible, but just a lot of stuff happening on lap 1 here. As we're going to rewind from my onboard. This was really the only battle I had for places. You can see there, I don't know if contact was made, but we actually cut the corner here because I was like, what happened? And you can see sand all over the place. And if you go into sand around this track, I mean, it is going to build up on your tires, and it is horrible. So yeah, let's skip on to the next interesting part. Lap 12 here of a while ago. Now, for the last couple of laps, I've just been leading, trying to keep that gap between me and Omis. And Omis and Spliven Hunton have been battling for the past couple laps, and they've actually lost quite a bit of time. I think my gap was around 11 seconds before going into the pit, so a lot of breathing space. And I knew that this race was going to be quote-unquote easy to win. I didn't know it at first, but looking at how much pace we had, I think we did pretty well. But here we are, we started on the soft tire. That might also be a reason why that we were so fast, was because we started on the soft tire. But you can see here that we actually, I think, go on the medium tire. I'm pretty sure. So then we can go on the soft tire. We're going to take a full tank of gas, try to go as far as possible on the medium tire. And we're actually going to rejoin in a pretty good gap here, right behind Obisega. And then Willie's not too far in front of us, so we'll probably catch on to him in this stint if he doesn't pit for a while. So yeah, a little bit of racing, but yeah, here we go. Obisega just about entering turn 1, and yeah, we're entering turn 2. So yeah, on lap 18, now we're actually catching up to Willie ourselves here, as you can see that gap is actually a lot closer. Now he's on the medium tire, but he's actually doing pretty well here. And I was like, you know, I kind of want to put on the battle because the race has just been really boring from this time, and I knew that we had a pretty good chance of winning. But yeah, almost what we knew, he started on the medium tire. I think quite a few people started on the medium. Yeah, I think everyone except, well, Niati, I think he definitely started the soft tire, because he's kind of struggling on those. I think Opise also, but almost comes in the pits. He was in the lead. Now he's gonna, I think he was in the lead, I'm pretty sure. He comes in the pits, and now we are right on the back bumper of Willie here. Now for the next couple laps, I've just been on his nose tail trying to find a way past him, but I mean, there's not a lot of places to pass here. Maybe the first corner, corkscrew maybe if you can get fair enough, but you can see here that I'm trying to take tighter lines and stuff, trying to get a wide entrance and then a tighter exit, but you know, not everything works around here. As I'm going to skip a lap or two later, we're actually closing in on Willie. Again, this gap is about the same, but this lap I kind of dropped behind, but now we're starting to see kind of the difference in tire wear, and how I'm starting just to really decrease that gap between me and Willie here. And we're going to go to the outside here, but that's not big enough. I knew that he was probably not going to leave the space on the outside because we're not even off long side. Now he goes for the inside to protect that, and we're going to take the inside here. We're going to go drag race towards the line here, and the Ferrari's pretty fast. I think he's in the Alfa Romeo, even though he has like a, oh geez, Ferrari embed. And we're actually going to go, we're going to still go side by side. A little bit of lag there, but he's going to try to go for a switch back here. We're having a good battle here. This was probably one of my favorite moments of the race. I mean, compared to nothing, basically. You see here, he's still right there. We're just, our tires are, I don't know, we're kind of struggling ourselves. But if we look on his tires, he was, I mean, those right side tires definitely struggle after a little bit, but we finally made it past Willie after a couple laps here. But he was still putting on a little bit of pressure, even after we passed him. And here we go, I think around 1 or 2 laps later again, we actually have Hutton comes in the pits, and now a lot of the medium tire runners that started in the medium tire, they're going to be coming in the pits. And we already made a pit stop, so, and I think we're actually halfway, yeah, we're 31 minutes right now, so around 29 minutes to go in the race. So if you're able to make it all the way this far, you could honestly go on the hard tire and try to make it in one stop. But, you know, that's what I was thinking. But, you know, things changed during the race, and I was kind of freaking out, because maybe I didn't know what strategy everyone else was on, but now we're in the lead by quite a bit here, and Willie will have to come to the pits, so I knew that gap between first and second was going to be pretty far after everyone's done with their pit stop site. Now, on lap 30 here, I thought Willie already pitted, but he actually didn't. He spent 42 minutes on the medium tire. I'm surprised he even made it on fuel. And that was a huge wake-up call for me, because now he could just take, I think, the soft tire, maybe not the soft, I'm not entirely sure if the soft would make it around this track, but definitely maybe a hard tire. But I knew that he's probably going to go for the one stop. Now, the mistake he actually made was he didn't take enough fuel, and he actually will have to pit again. So he could have definitely been a huge threat to us, but didn't take enough fuel here, as it does take a little bit of math. But yeah, just FYI, I guess, as I was kind of freaking out, because now we still have to make a pit stop, so we're probably going to rejoin, maybe even behind him. So this is going to be very interesting. Not even a lap later, we're actually going to come into the pits here just to cover Willie off a little bit, and we're going to go on the soft tire now. Like I said before, a little bit of math involved. I was actually, I think you waste around 5% fuel every 2 minutes. So I had to use that to figure out like how much like fuel I needed. And turns out I think I took 45 or 55% fuel here, and Split Hutton is actually going to go past us with around 15 minutes to go in this race, and Willie not too far behind. I mean, maybe. I mean, we're still in the pits here, and I think we are gonna take 45. Okay, so I know it's in that 5 range, and we're actually gonna rejoin not too far behind Hutton. Willie's actually not really a threat to us, and especially with that mistake, with taking, I think, less fuel. I'm pretty sure that's because this was a week ago, more than a week ago actually. So yeah, I think he just took he didn't take enough fuel, but Hutton here, and now we're actually going to be behind OP Sega. I kind of want him to get out of the way here, because I don't want any lap traffic to affect us, especially with this happening, because Hutton, he might be on a one-stop strategy. I think it was Hutton or Willie who took less fuel, or didn't take enough fuel. I think it was Willie. I mean, you see here that OP Sega, he's just going to go off the track there. That's going to let us by. And yeah, and he's actually going to do a pretty good save there. I think he actually kept it out of the wall, luckily. So, good job to him. But Hutton, I knew he was probably going to make it to the end of the race, but you know, things change sometimes. Just a lap ago, he's actually going to come into the pits, and really that was a huge surprise, as I think he maybe could have made it to the end of the race. I mean, you might as well try. So I was super surprised by that, and that basically puts us in the lead here. You see, I think that might be Niati in front there. But yeah, that's basically, if we can just cruise to victory here, I mean, we can basically just cruise here. And we should be good on fuel. I took way too, like I took 5% more fuel than we had to. Yeah, this is going to be definitely a very interesting last 13 minutes. This lap was definitely very interesting, because now I'm just playing games. Really, I'm trying to get as many points as possible, and you might just saw that OP Sega just scored the fastest lap. So now I'm really trying to push here, as he scored a 122.465, which, you know, I was up on this lap. I think we're actually going to see our sector 10s shortly here, and I was like, you know, I could beat that, because right now he's actually basically almost the same tire wear. You see here, I think he has a little bit more fuel than us, so, you know, a little bit of a difference. But we're actually doing pretty well on this lap. Yeah, you can see that we're just about making it. I don't know what our personal best prior to this was, but we were definitely going a lot faster here. As just a reminder, 122.465 as we're coming around the final corner. Try to get on the throttle as early as possible here. Coming to the line here. Is it going to be close enough? No, it's not. It's going to be a 122.466, literally 1,000th of a second behind OP Sega. I was like, I had to check it quite a few times there to just see if my eyes were actually working. And it turns out that we missed out on the fastest lap by technically 2,000ths of a second. But you can see here, I try to do it again. We're going to screw up even more. This was actually our fastest lap of the race here, 122.466. I was kind of disappointed. I was like, do we deserve half a point for at least trying? But, you know, that was a good fight. That actually probably the most interesting part too. So, I had a lot of fun in this race, especially as we're going to go just about save it there. The wall just about saved us. Holy smokes. You see how much we're pushing. And I actually made quite a few mistakes, to be honest, on these last 6.5 minutes here, as we're going to go way too wide there on the exit there, and we're actually going to get just about saved. That wall actually saved us quite a bit, and Willie's not too far behind us, but he's not really a threat, unless we make like a huge mistake, or of course if we disconnect. Now, you're going to see here, Willie actually makes his final pit stop, I think, let's see, so 6% fuel, so he would be able to make it probably around 2 or 3 minutes earlier, so he definitely took not enough fuel, maybe could have fuel saved, I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, definitely would have not made it at the rate he was going, so kind of a disappointment for Willie there, but we're still in the lead, so, you know, I think we're in the lead now by almost a whole sector here. No, not even close. We're in the lead by quite a bit though. So Willie actually takes a lot more fuel here. I think he might have took even more fuel. Maybe, I don't know. It's a lot of math here, but yeah, let's just skip later on. So here we are for the final lap of the race. Now this was actually going to be pretty close to the final lap, as I think just about made it, because we got 40 seconds remaining. And around 40 seconds remaining in our lap itself, so it was going to be pretty close to see if we're actually on the final lap or not. But pretty good race overall. I really enjoyed it. You can see here yellow flags. But I mean, first win. Now this will actually be our last win. I mean, our last race of the season, as I didn't race this weekend. Because it's a little bit late upload, but we're gonna come around the final corner here to take first place for the first time in the league. Now, I've won like sprint races and stuff before, but I've never actually won a league race. And, you know, a little bit of a setup change before the race. I was like, you know, maybe it'll work. And it did. So, yeah, I think that was a pretty good race. Spliven Hutton, he finishes in P2, not too far behind us. Still a little bit of a threat. Willie will come into third place, and then Opie Sega will come around the final corner. He'll finish in fourth. Nyati in fifth. I think almost contact there. It's just the AI just going a little screwy. And then I think we had 3 more drivers in that race there. So, you know, pretty good race overall. I enjoyed it. It was actually a really fun race, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. A little bit late on the upload, but either way, had a lot of fun, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.